South with the ball. They'll look to run it left-hand side. There's a penalty flag on this one. And so all this yardage is going to be negated. Another scoring opportunity for Harlingen South. Welcome back, those of you that were watching. I believe I hit a wrong button midway through that broadcast, and we are back. Aaron Signs, we missed about 6 minutes of the broadcast. We didn't miss any scoring. We just missed some chess match here between these two teams, Harlingen South and Rivera.
Yeah, and definitely, I think, the last 6 minutes could be summarized by just some mental mistakes, to be honest with you. And so, of course, missed some good football, but really there's been a lot of back and forth, just a lot of failed execution, Joe, especially if you were able to tune into this last run right here. This has kind of been the scenario that we've been seeing here, and just lapse of judgment, a little bit lack of discipline here as these teams are kind of hurting themselves from moving forward in this ball game. So a bit of a stalemate of sorts. 7-0 is still your score here with 11-11 in the second quarter.
Back here at Sam Stadium, 11-11 in the second. A game that has been played mostly on the Rivera side of the 50-yard line. Harlingen had 2 possessions in which they started in Rivera territory. This drive, they started in their own about the 30. And currently operating at the Rivera 39. And they'll face a third down and about 6 yards to go. Welcome back, all of you who were watching earlier. Welcome the new viewers that are in with the tune. We do record these games in their entirety. We'll replay them in their start to finish. Again, all I can say is I hit a wrong button. I know I did. That stopped that stream there for just a bit. 4th down play for the Hawks. We've seen them go for it a couple of times already here in the first quarter, Aaron. We'll see what they do here.
Yeah, I think 4th down. You're down here, where do they have, about the 36-yard line or so. Really, the defense for Harlingen South has been able to hold that Rivera offense, so why not take a shot here and see if that offense can recoup some of the yards that they've given up on penalties tonight.
They missed a long field goal attempt and now have the offense on the field on this 4th and 4. Got to get it to the 32 to get a first down. Wilson takes it. Mix up in the backfield. They'll still get a first down on a run by Ethan Garza. That's not how you draw it up, but they nonetheless move the chains.
Well, I know it's kind of hard to tell the number 9 and the number 4 jerseys from each other, but really I think they were confused as to who was going to get the football. Number 4 just wrestled away Ethan Garza, and he was running like a madman after, looks like he had stolen the football, gets the first down. But that's been kind of indicative of the Hawks here in the first half. They've had some good spurts, but really are having a hard time with consistency on this offensive side of the ball.
So that'll move the chains, and the clock runs with 10-11 to go here in the first quarter of play. And, man, we are... Bear with me, Aaron. My computer just shut down. Okay, this is here. Oh, right here. We are still with you on KBISD TV. Those of you that are tuning in here, we are continuing to broadcast for you. Hawks will run the ball to the left side. A lot of room inside the 10, down to the 5. That's a touchdown for Harlingen South.
Carlos Boss running on the outside. Had a big play call back earlier, and this may be coming back too, Joe. I see another yellow flag on the field, and the offense is marching back. I mean, that's 2 huge runs now for number 1 that have come back, and I think it's going to be holding.
There was another hold, and that's... Well, that would be play number 3 in which 6 points was on the board for Harlingen South. Again, those of you that are tuning into our broadcast on KBISD, you haven't missed a thing. Those of on Rio Sports Live, well, there's some technical stuff going on that, frankly, is as 100% me. As we are trying to get this time I had to have hit something to unplug our computer power supply. Never got an indication that it was going down, but we'll get her fired back up here.
As far as scoring, we haven't missed much. As far as
anything.
Scoring call back, missed quite a bit. So
exactly.
That's kind of indicative of this last several minutes of play. But here, you got the holding penalty, Joe, and then you have an unsportsmanlike conduct. Don't know if it was a player or coach, but South is marching in the wrong direction, and I think it's coming out of discipline right now.
So the ball is already back at the 49-yard line. Now for the Harlingen South Hawks. still second down. But realistically, 2nd and 30 yards to go for Harlingen South, and now a whistle, and the Raiders want to talk it over. They realize this is opportunity now to get the ball back. They've got a team reeling, and frankly, that helps us a lot on the streaming side of this. We'll take a break, and we'll be right back. Doggone it.
Lone Star National Bank, the Values Bank. We do what the little banks can't, and the big banks won't.
But it was still right. Correct.
How that'll make us but we are stronger. So level up your game and get boosted today.
Hawks on a 2nd down. Will pass it left-hand side, and that's caught. And now a nice move after the receiver eludes a tackler. He gets back across the 40 down to the 38-yard line. Still well short of a first down.
Desmond Connell there on the outside. You do have an injured player down on the field out of respect for him. Hopefully all is okay with him, nothing major. But we do have someone down on the field. They're going to take an injury timeout, Joe.
9:08 to go. And a timeout on the field. We'll be right back after this.
Josh Moody and Coach Rolly Gonzalez of Josh Moody Loans are former Harlingen Cardinals and would like to wish all the teams good luck in tonight's games.
Hija, tomorrow's your quinceañera. I need you to call your padrinos and tell them thank you for the salon, the tamales, the dress, el DJ.
Ay, Ama, you called them. I didn't even want a quinceañera in the first place. I would have preferred to have gone to Paris instead.
I will, fine. I'm gonna give you your surprise gift early.
Huh?
Guess what? You're going to Paris.
How?
Well, I've been saving mucho dinero all year in insurance thanks to Pronto Insurance.
Let's just skip the quinceañera and go straight to Paris.
Call your padrinos right now.
Okay.
Ask your agent how you can start saving with Pronto. Best price in town.
Back here at Sam Stadium, a timeout was called. It turns into a lengthy timeout here as the injury on the field was to one of the Raider players on the far side of the field. They didn't see an injury occur, but coming up under his own power, walking off the field. So all well wishes in that direction, regardless of who you're rooting for, that the player, A, is able to get off under his own power. He is, and B, that he gets to return to the football game. Here in this one, 7-0 is your score. We're in the first half. And the Harlingen South has the only score. They lead at 7-0. They missed a field goal. And, Aaron, again, the storyline is the score could be as much as 28-0.
Yeah, 3 touchdowns called back for South Hawks, holding. And, it just those are big-time penalties at big-time opportunities.
Hawks on a 3rd down. Send a man in motion. Wilson takes a snap, drops back, lets it go over the middle, caught to the right side of the 25, and that's close to first down yardage on a catch made by Jacob Connell.
You may have to measure this one. It's pretty close here. Waiting for the official. The official on the far side of the field said it is 4th down, but 4th down maybe half a yard or so on that replay. There, nice spin move getting away from the defender, and Jacob Connell's been active tonight, and he's got a chance. He makes it happen.
Hawks keep the offense on the field on 4th and a yard. Wilson has 2 backs in the backfield, either side of him. He'll hand it off Moss Boss has a first down, got to the 20-yard line, strides forward. They'll finally have to blow this rugby scrum dead. But Moss Boss got the yardage needed, converted on a fourth down.
The offensive tackle did a great job of driving the defensive end outwards, and that created a hole inside the tackle. And Carlos Maspas is very patient when he runs. Did a good job kind of setting up, letting that block set up, and then he just got enough for the first down a little bit more. But good job following that offensive line, opening a hole for the running back.
Clock running with 8 minutes to go here in the first half of play. Harlingen South with the lead. Now a new set of downs. It's a red zone possession just inside the 20. Wilson keeps that two-back set. Hands it off. Left-hand side down to the 15-yard line. David Sanchez. Now everything grinding out on the ground for the Hawks.
Rivera's running a pretty base defense, Joe, and what they're doing a lot of times is they're blitzing that middle linebacker because they know that if they put pressure up the middle, number one, it causes August Rush to get outside, August Wilson, on the rush, and also it stuffs the run up the middle as well. But that time, August saw it. He was patient. He kind of had a before the snap, so the linebacker got up to the line and backed off, and that created space for that run to happen.
Second down and call it 5 yards to go. From the 15-yard line of the Rivera Raiders. Low snap, they'll look to throw. Wilson has a man, but he just missed him off the fingertips of David Sanchez.
We do have a flag on the field. We're waiting for the official on that, but number 99 for Rivera put immense pressure up the middle. Juan Cuello, the defensive lineman, and he did a great job of getting up to the quarterback. But the Hawks are going to get one this time on a penalty that goes against Rivera, and that should be a first down.
Yeah, they're going to call it a roughing the passer, I believe. It was the call. So another personal foul against the Rivera Raiders. And that went from, if that catch is made, that's 6 points, to an incomplete pass. And now the end result of the play after the penalty is a first and goal coming up for the Harlingen South Hawks. Thanks for tuning in wherever you may be. Again, yours truly, I'm going to just call it as it is. I hit a button wrong and stopped our stream dead in its tracks in the middle of the first quarter. Those of you that keep clicking on the link to the original game broadcast, yeah, you're going to see that first quarter. And we did a great job, but here we are in the second quarter. So those, here again, share this current link if you're watching this game. Help those fans catch up. They are in a big way. I'm watching the numbers roll up. It's kind of neat to watch the digits roll as the viewers catch on. But again, no one to blame here but me. And then at the same time, I unplugged my stat computer, so our stats went away. So in the world of turnovers, Joe Bowling, 2 tonight. First and goal for the Hawks. They'll make it second and goal from the 5.
That's all right. Still 7-0. So we're still good. End result is still intact. Right?
Luckily, I know the owner of the company. I think I can get by with it, although she's here. And I call my wife Dahlia the owner. Here's a running play for the Hawks right up the middle, right in the end zone. Touchdown, Harlingen South. And that was just strongman football right up the middle.
Yeah, that's a little bit of wildcat, if you will, where they bring in a different person to play impersonate quarterback in the moment, right? That was number 9, David Sanchez, and he's a bigger body kid, and he was able to really push his way up through the middle of that interior of that offensive line. Good push by the lineman, and gets across that goal. This time they get across, and no penalty flag, so it's going to stand.
6:32 to go in the second quarter of play. The Harlingen South Hawks on the road with a 13-0 lead. They'll go for a 2-point conversion, and they'll get it. Caught by Mikey Gonzalez. And the Hawks are up 15-0. That knocking noise, the coaching staff of the Hawks. And this knock is a happy one. Kickoff coming up after this.
I love what I do. I really
love what
do.
I'm doing. I love children.
One of the most important things to do is to love your students.
Imagine teachers like these helping your child prepare to change the world. Take a closer look at Mission CISD.
Our service is unmatched. Our commitment to our team and our community, relentless. Our products are innovative and exciting. Fruya, we're what's next now.
Ibanez Tortilleria, serving up freshly made in-house corn and flour tortillas since 1994. Try our delicious menudo, tasty barbacoa, fresh tamales, tacos, pareadas with juicy grilled chicken, and tender fajitas. On Mondays, buy one barbacoa taco and get one free if you mention that you're a Bloodhound fan. Located at 4726 Paredes Line Road, Brownsville, Texas. Open every day at 6:30 a.m. till 9 p.m. To order, contact 956-541-9594.
Kickoff time for the Harlingen South Hawks. Those of you that are tuning in, thanks for tuning in wherever you may be, whether it's KBISD here on local channel 17 in Brownsville, or if you're watching on our social media platforms across the board, YouTube, Facebook, on Real Sports Live. Soon opening up on Roku with the RSL network. And once that launches, my friends, then we'll be talking about where you're watching, what channel you're watching, whether it be the premium channel or one of the school channels or one of the secondary channels. It's all coming on the Roku network. Kickoff by the Hawks underway. Raiders will field it at the 10. Bring it out across the 15 to the 20. Out to the 30-yard line, 33-yard line. And I was going to talk about it, Aaron. There's a lot of energy that can be made here in Sam Stadium from this home side. There's a good crowd here. They need something to get them going.
I tell you what, that was the first time I really heard this crowd on this side of the field tonight get excited, and it felt good to hear some voices come out of the stadium. But Rivera's still very much in this game. 15-0, yes, but these fans are definitely behind their team.
Got somebody commented saying I should be fired. Well, first down play here for the Raiders, and they'll look to throw. Sliding catch is made across the 45-yard line. That's a first down.
Roman Rivera, the junior receiver, number 9, on the catch. So great job there by that route, if you will. Gets a nice slant. Watch it in the replay. Catches it, goes down, enough for a first down. Those quick hitter plays by Rivera is going to be critical, in order to move the ball downfield.
First down play now for the Raiders. Again, they need some positive things to happen here on this drive. It's not panic time, but you're down 2 scores. Halfway through the second quarter, pass play caught, big hit delivered. Another catch, though, right around the 50-yard line.
Now it's Roman Rivera again, and this time he runs just a little 5-yard hitch, goes up, turns around, ball is right there. Perfect timing pattern by the quarterback, getting his tall receiver, knowing that there's space that the cornerback is giving him. They're going to eat that up.
5:43 to go here in this second quarter of play. Expanding on that, if my wife fired me, what would happen to Real Sports Live? I don't know. Second down play. It may grow. Second, it may force me to run it and not announce it anymore, right? Here's a running play across the 50 down to the 47-yard line of the Hawks.
Just a few yards, right? And, just big back, right? Number 4, Jesus Hinojosa, he is a big player, Joe. He's a big line, almost looks like a lineman, right? And so he has the ability to push the pile. He does that. So he's kind of taking this team on his shoulders this drive and saying, hey, we need to get downfield, get a score. I'm going to pass it. I'm going to run it, whatever it takes.
So now the Raiders are taking a snap on this side, and I say this side, the Hawks side of the 50-yard line for the first time in the ball game. From the 47 on a 3rd down and 4. They'll pass it right side, miscommunication there. Receiver on another page, incomplete pass.
I think he wanted that little 7-yard hitch. I think he wanted that receiver to get upfield, take a quick step, turn back to the outside. The receiver saying, like, what do you want? I thought that's what you wanted for me to go deep towards that end zone. Just different pages, and that's what happens. Looked like a timing route, receiver on one page, quarterback on another.
So the Raiders bring the punting team out. They went for it earlier on 4th down and 1 from their own 34. And they bring the punt team out here down 15. 4th and 4 from your opponent's 47. Hawks send a man back to return this punt. It is 10. Low snap. They're going to fake it. Running right-hand side. Can they get to the corner? No, sir. Tackle made. Hawks get the stop. They smelled the fake punt, and they turned it down.
Number 9 here, the punter, it's Roman Rivera. He's also a receiver, so we know he can run downfield. He had a couple of catches earlier on this drive, and so they're really trying to put the ball in the hands of the players that they trust. This time, trying to go for it with a trick play. Didn't happen, but I like Rivera's trust in their players, getting in the right hands, trying to see what happens. Can't hurt.
First down play now for the Harlingen South Hawks. 4:45 to go. And another drive after that tackle was made at the 48. Another drive for the Hawks will start in Rivera territory, and I've said that a bunch here this evening. 2 of those drives Well, one drive led to points. We'll talk about the others in a moment. Pass play over the middle. That's caught. Pitch and catch for 11 yards for the Hawks.
Number 8, Dylan Anaya. You may also see him line up later on as quarterback for the Hawks. And that time, running an excellent route, great timing pattern, speaking of. And August Wilson doing a great job connecting with number 8, getting downfield. First down, move the chains.
Are the Raiders shaking up just a bit? That means there's a timeout on the field. We'll take a break. I'll hit the right buttons. We'll be right back after this. This is Real Sports Live.
Sherryland ISD, a nationally recognized district focusing on quality and rigorous instruction where every child is immersed in a culture of academic success. A district dedicated to preparing our youth for the future. Our mission is to inspire, educate, and empower all students to reach their full potential and become leaders of the highest moral character. Sherryland ISD, excellence is our tradition.
We're the St. Joe Bloodhound Cheerleaders, and you're watching Real Sports Live!
Baby, just listen to me.
Escucha.
Do everything with speed.
Prontísimo.
Out of home business or
Flexible.
insurance for all your needs.
Barato.
You say you just got a new boat. Come on by and we'll give you a free quote.
Prontísimo.
Okay, who's singing? Me or you? Hello?
Accesible.
I'm out.
Pregúntale a tu agente cómo ahorrar con Pronto, porque más barato, nadie.
After the pass completion, the Hawks had to wait for one of the Raiders who was shaken up to get off to the sideline. He seems to be okay. First down play for the Hawks, leading 15-0 in this game. A game that has been played all on this side of the 50-yard line. And a running play this time inside the 35 as they'll hand it off to David Sanchez.
He's had a lot of touches tonight. They're finding ways to get him the football, wildcat formation, on the handoff, if you will. And that's kind of a change-up. Called a game with the South Hawks a few weeks ago. Didn't really call his name too much. And so it seems like they're getting him more involved in this offense, and he seems to be productive, especially tonight.
Second down. The sun has gone behind the clouds on the horizon, and this place is just gorgeous. If they could go wide on the camera, you could see the skyline that we're looking at. This is just a perfect scene. Penalty flags on this one. No snap occurred, and we'll take a look if they were drawn or if indeed the Raiders were offsides on the play.
I had to take a picture, Joe, because like you said, and it's a beautiful setting here at Sam Stadium. The palm trees are all around. This is what you would expect when you think about a football stadium in the Rio Grande Valley. It's Sam Stadium.
On a Friday night, especially. No breeze, no threat of rain, and just terrific setting. They're here tomorrow for a game as well at Sam Stadium. Usually they have games on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Tomorrow, when Manny Gomez plays here, they're not, by the way, but when he plays here, he likes to play games on those Saturday early afternoons. He calls them like a college environment at Sam Stadium. And tomorrow we've got an early kickoff as well, 11 o'clock start for the ball game here. Invite you fans that are watching these games outside of this area, come on down to Sam's and get involved in one of the games and be here at Sam's for a live broadcast and a live game. Empty backfield for the Hawks here on this 2nd and 2. Wilson hesitates, waits, hit. Down he goes. You talk about hard hitting? How about a helmet coming off on the hit?
Well, that's number 99, Juan Cuello. He was called earlier for roughing the passer. That was clean that time, and really he's been putting a lot of pressure up the middle. He's coming from that defensive tackle / nose guard position, the 1-2 technique, and he puts a lot of pressure up there. And when that happens, it causes August to have to get out of the pocket. That time he couldn't escape him, and Cuello just does a great job. Clean hit, takes August down, and a lot of force coming up the middle of that interior line of scrimmage.
Third down play coming up for the Hawks. 3 minutes left here in the first half of play. Hawks will run it. Left side, it's Moss Boss. He's got a first down and more. Gets out of bounds inside the 20.
Able to find the edge there, and we know that he has the speed. We know that he also has the power, but this time he was able to get around that edge that the offensive line really created for him. They got a good push on the right side of the defensive line. You watch this replay here, and number 75 gets out there, gets a good seal block. Number 9 lead blocks, and just springs him around that edge, and he's got the speed to make it.
New set of downs for the Hawks just outside the 20. They'll mark him out of bounds at the 24. Wilson, a low snap, hands it off. There's room on the right side and inside the 15-yard line. Another first down for Harlingen South.
You made the comment earlier, though. You said sometimes when the blitz does come, if you're able to get the right blocks, you can spring one for a long run. That time was a great example. They brought two linebackers that were blocked well in the interior, which exposed the edge, and that running back just able to ride on the outside, David Sanchez, and use the blitz against them.
And what that means for those non-football fans out there, this is where Dahlia always pats me on the back, is like when you're blitzing, it means that the linebackers are coming up, the guys in the middle of your defense. And that leaves the secondary, and that means there's a big gap of about 6 yards that you can run before anybody can step up and tackle you, and that's what we're talking about there. First down play now for the Hawks. They'll look on the Wildcat, and this is Dylan Anaya. Anaya to the left side. He'll be driven down inside the 6. But again, they go to that Wildcat. Doesn't matter who's back there. Be ready to take a snap.
All right, here we go. Southhawks, really doing a good job of getting down the field this time. And what they have eliminated on this drive, Joe, is those penalty flags. And because of that, able to put a good drive together, moving it downfield, running the football. Nothing too, if you will, flashy, just good old-fashioned running the football.
Minute 41 to go here and counting in the first half of play. Harlingen South already up 15-0, trying to get more before the halftime break, and they will. Off a run by Ethan Garza, another touchdown for Harlingen South.
And number 4, Ethan Garza, number 9, David Sanchez, number 1, Mossboss are kind of interchanging them throughout this whole night here. And each one of them, like you see in this replay, number 4, Ethan Garza, just following their blockers up the field. What do they all have in common? Offensive line is doing their job, getting some good blocks.
So a 21-0 lead. Harlingen South went for a 2-point conversion last time out. We'll see if they go for conventional here. Shift everyone over. And the wind picks up right on cue. Wind now blowing from the Raiders side across the field. Doesn't affect that kick. It's good. I want to leave this before we go to the commercial break. Any comments that come across that have a 4-letter word traditionally are going to be blocked. So fans asking, what happened to Julio Garza's comments? Well, he used some magic words. It happens. It's not that we don't want him watching the game. Just we're on a high school broadcast, guys. Back with more after this.
Music lovers, you have to stop and see the assortment of records, tapes, and records memorabilia at Forever Memories today. Located at 237 North Sam Houston in San Benito, Texas, there's over 10,000 records on display and more coming every day. Looking for your favorite album from the past, first pressings, collectibles. How about a 45 with a single you just have to have? Freddie Fender, Johnny Cash, Hank Williams, Elvis, Beatles, blues, rock, classics, Tejano, it's all here. Organized and priced for you, Forever Memories, 237 North Sam Houston, San Benito.
Come visit our new store in downtown Harlingen. We have furniture, appliances, clothes, collectibles.
Back here on Real Sports Live, and we are back to the broadcast here with a minute 28 to go. Did we have ourselves muted for a little bit there? Maybe. I don't think so. We're good to go. Minute 28 to go. Harlingen South Hawks up 22-0. 225, the viewers on YouTube. Thanks for tuning in. Now, here's the question. Have you subscribed to our channel? Because when I get the analytics each month, I'll talk about it after the kickoff. On the drive inside the 10 to the 5. Bobbled. They'll bring it out across the 10 to the 15. Now to the 20 to the outside for the Raiders. 25, 27. The oohs and ahs are coming on the kick returns for the Raiders. Let me expand a little bit on that as well as we continue to take a look here. The analytics are what the advertisers want to talk about every time. Again, when you're doing something for free, and we do, we don't charge for these games either way, whether it's schools or fans. And so we need the advertising to get it done. First thing the advertisers ask for is how many people are watching, where are they from, and how long do they watch? Well, the analytics tell me that 80% of our games are watched by people that don't subscribe to our YouTube channel. So subscribe if you will. Believe it or not, it helps more than you'll ever know from conversations when I'm sitting wearing another hat. Another question, are we going to show the halftime show? Yes, here at Sam Stadium we do. And traditionally, any game that I'm covering, you'll see the halftime show. Where you get into the dicey part of any halftime show is A, when you're receiving a feed, you got to wonder whether camera operators are going to stay in play. In some cases, the schools give them a break. If they give them a break, we ask them here at Sam's to leave it wide. I'll leave the cameras running. Second thing is, when you're broadcasting on social media platforms such as YouTube and Facebook, you run into a rights violation on any music. Music performed by any artist at times can be a violation with YouTube and Facebook. You do that enough, they pull you. You can't broadcast anything. So what I do is monitor that as well. You'll see dancers, you won't hear the music. If the band is performing and you can get it where it's not going to be anything that's going to be a current hit, then we leave it running. So yes, fans, you're going to be able to see the halftime show. In some cases you won't hear it, but it's by design. You're talking to the owner of a company that is going to write a book someday that says it took this to get it done, to get all these broadcasts. But I'm giving you a little peek behind the curtain, if you will. Raiders on a second down play. Have it from the 30. Look to pass. Quarterback now going to keep it. Containment is there, though, and they'll drive him down at the 35-yard line. Looked, Aaron, for a moment like that was going to gain more yards.
Yeah, number 4, of course, Jesus Hinojosa, just a big quarterback, able to get downfield. I thought he was going to be able to break at least one more tackle, but looks like he was holding onto his arm. I don't know if he was trying to protect something goes down, but, definitely showing a lot of grit, especially on this drive. He's really trying to carry his team on his shoulders, Joe, and love to see that from that young man. Wish he would have broken another tackle, but hopefully he's okay and that there's nothing major going on there.
Third down play now coming up for the Rivera Raiders, and the Harlingen South Hawks burned a timeout, their final timeout here of the half. Minute 2 to go. Is this one of those Israel Gonzalez and his coaching staff is like, all right, we're up 22-0. Let's see what happens if we get the ball back with less than a minute to go and need to go length of the field. Maybe some practice heading into this pre-district games.
I mean, there's no better way to get a 2-minute drill in than a live game situation, right? And so you're not going to be able to simulate Rivera on the practice field Monday through Thursday, if you will. And so I would say yes if you get a chance.
So they call the timeout there with a minute 2 to go. Rivera Raiders need 4 yards to get a first down. Movement on the line of scrimmage. Looks like a false start.
A lot of movement on the defensive line, I think, caused the movement on the offensive line. And as long as the defender doesn't cross that neutral zone and touch the player, then it's going to be on the offensive line. It looks like that's what happened that time.
Delay game. Defense.
No, they'll call a delay a game on the defense.
Okay.
Correction. It result in a first down.
Interesting.
So that does a few things. It moves the chains, makes it a first down for the Rivera Raiders. Clock stops with a minute 1 to go after that timeout anyway. But now it dials up some what-if scenarios for Rivera. They do have 2 timeouts remaining with the ball at their own 41-yard line on this first down play. Hinojosa drops back to throw, lets it go down the left sideline, and overshoots his man. Roman Vera was the receiver. Incomplete pass.
A lot of back and forth there between the cornerback and the receiver. To me, it was just all good, but really at the end of the day, that was an overthrown football. Number 9 does have the height advantage there. We've seen him, Roman Vera, be able to get up and get some football. He's also the punter, by the way. But that time, good back and forth. I like to see that challenge between the cornerback and the receiver, especially one-on-one. We got that right there.
2nd and 10 coming up for the Rivera Raiders. We're inside a minute to go here in the first half. Looking further ahead, Harlingen South will get the ball to start the second half of play. Raiders on a running play across the 41. And 3rd and 1, 49 seconds to go. They'll still have to take another snap as the play clock has already started.
Watch the storyline here in the second half, Joe. But if you look down on the defensive line right now, you see number 1 and number 4. Those are 2 running backs for South Hawks. They're playing defensive linemen right now at the end of the first half.
3rd down play. Hawks scored early after forcing a 4 and out, a 4th down turnover on downs, gave them the ball at the 34-yard line. They punched it in and scored. Raiders on 3rd down and 9. Look to throw. Pressure coming. Quarterback hit as he delivers the pass, incomplete.
I will say at that time, Joe, number 25 wrapped around number 9. And, you know, if you're going to make a call, that may have been the one to call there. Of course, like I said, I like to see the back and forth, but that time could have hindered the receiver there from making a catch.
Stops the clock with 9 seconds to go. Well, that did get the attention of the coach, Alberto Leal, who is, I'm not down there, but I'm telling you, he's saying if you want a definition of what a interference call is to be called, then I'm telling you that's what it was. That's in his view, and that's me paraphrasing what he may be saying. 9 seconds to go. We'll be back after this timeout.
Funds collected support the Sunny Glen Children's Home. Come see us at Vintage on Jackson at First and Jackson in Harlingen.
Traigo 100 kilos de ropa, lo que se me antoja, dinero en el banco. Muchas me andan criticando, pues traigo carrazos que como le hago. Tengo aseguro del bueno, pronto y flexible y sale barato. Es mi corrido humilde, que no se te olvide que me ando ahorrando.
Ask your agent how you can start saving with Pronto. Best price in town.
We're the Harlingen Sound Lady Hawks, and you're watching Real Sports Live. Hawks up!
Forever Memories, Antiques and Collectibles, located at 237 North Sam Houston.
Back here, punting time for the Rivera Raiders. Coming up at the halftime break, we will take a look at the bands. We'll also run down some scores from around the area. That punt goes out of bounds, and so there's still time on the clock with 4 seconds left. They'll mark it out at the 34 for Harlingen South. Other games going on tonight. We're broadcasting at Texas A&M Kingsville. That's John Paul II against H.M. King. We also have Mercedes and La Feria. Hebronville down in Lyford tonight. That's a broadcast going on. San Benito at Mission Veterans. That's another biggie. That's our game of the week. Our game of the week this year, we are handing out a scholarship each and every game, a $250 scholarship to the home team to be awarded to one of the students of their choice sometime this year. That'll do it for the first half. The Hawks lead this one by the score of 22-0. We'll be back with a halftime show after this.
It's filled with vintage items, collectibles, and a selection of vinyl records that's as good as it gets. Every shelf, every aisle, and table is filled daily by a number of vendors that ensures that something here just might be the item you have to have. The vinyl record area helps bring an added atmosphere that makes for the fun trip when stepping back in time with the memories. Forever Memories, Antiques and Collectibles in San Benito.
I'm a 5th grader at Champion Elementary.
Back here on Real Sports Live, we're going to keep the microphone going for the dance team. Welcome to the halftime show on Real Sports Live.
Major Ruby Gracia. And your 2022-2023 Southern Stars Colonel, Madison Myers. Sit back and watch our Southern Stars show you their star pride. Take it away, Stars.
Drum majors for the Mighty Hawk Band are Jordan Phipps, Sophia Castillo, and head drum major Jacqueline Davis. Drumline captain is Rafael Cantu. Color guard captain. The Hawk Band will be performing selections from their 2022 UIL production, Acts of Light, A Journey of the Sun.
And we wait for the arrival of the Rivera Raiders marching band with all of the assistants from the middle school bands performing here at Sam Stadium. We'll keep it running here at halftime.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to tonight's halftime presentation. At this time, please help me in welcoming to the field your amazing Rivera Silverettes dance team. The Silverettes are joined tonight by the Garcia Middle School Spotlight Dancers and the Perkins Middle School Salad Dance Team. Now sit back and enjoy the tune Baby I'm a Star by Prince and the Revolution. Garcia Middle School Spotlight Dancers are under the direction of Mrs. Paola Garcia, and the Perkins Middle School Stallionettes are under the direction of Ms. Alejandra Gonzalez. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. The Brownsville Independent School District and Simon Rivera Early College High School are proud to present a very special halftime performance. Tonight is Band Night. This evening, the Rivera Raider Band is joined on the field by our Raider Band and the Perkins Salad Band. Standing before you are the combined forces of over 350 band students. The combined bands are under the direction of Rivera drum majors Emily Bella, Cassandra Candida, Juliana Gaitan, Garcia drum majors Rene Alvear, Viviana Vasquez, and Perkins drum majors Paola Monreal and Alexa Trevino. Tonight's performance is dedicated to the with a classic American song which tells of the beauty and grace that surrounds our beloved country's landscape. The words were written in a poem form by English professor Catherine Lee Bates as she traveled by train within the state of Colorado one summer in 1893. In her poem, she described the beauty of the vast landscapes that were within our country. Today, we know her famous poem as a patriotic song, America the Beautiful. At this time, we would like to invite all veterans here tonight to please stand so that we may recognize you for your service to our nation. Ladies and gentlemen, these are the people that have always secured our freedom in times of peace and war. Let's give them a thunderous round of applause. Directors for the Raider Band are Alex R. Torres, Elani Ramirez, Directors for the Raider Band are Remy Garcia, Joseph Haddad, and Denise Gonzalez. Directors for the Italian Band are John and Joseph Haddad. The band Brownsville ISD Superintendent Dr. Rene Rivera and the Brownsville ISD Board members. Assistant Superintendent Dr. Norma Ibarra Santu. Fine Arts Administrator Michael Garcia. Instrumental Supervisor Sam Rodriguez. Our ever-supported band parents and all Raider fans everywhere for your support. The Raider Band would like to extend their best wishes to the Harlingen South Hawk Band and the directors for a successful marching band season. We invite you to stay for a special post-game show by the Savannah Raider Band presenting the marching show. Thank you, and go Raiders!
So the middle school marching bands combined here at Sam Stadium for Brownsville Rivera, entertaining the fans, and a good performance here at halftime. We're 6:22 before we have the second half kickoff. Harlingen South has made an arrival in the south end zone. We're waiting for the arrival of the Raiders, and then we'll have the second half kickoff. I'm Joe Bowling, Aaron Sines on my right-hand side. Hope you enjoyed the halftime festivities and the two marching bands performing here tonight. One, the Harlingen South Hawks, and the second, a combination of the Rivera High School, the Stallions Perkins Middle School, and the Dr. Juliet V. Garcia Middle School band, all combining for a good performance. Back with more after this.
I'm going to be at 6th grade at Perkins Middle School.
My favorite thing about my school is that they make it fun for us to learn. As an 8th grader, I will be able to take high school classes in middle school.
Well, I take a lot of the dual enrollment classes that TSC offers to us.
They have given me an early start on what I want to become in the future, which is a mathematics teacher.
That's why Brownsville ISD is the best choice.
Hi, I'm Rodo Rodriguez and I'm a partner with New York Life Insurance Company. For 170 years, New York Life has built a reputation for building some of the finest agents in the industry. I help to manage that process from day one. If you're looking to challenge yourself and build an insurance and financial service business, then I would like to show you how I can help.
When excellence in academics meets discovery on the court, in the arts, with institutions of higher education and beyond, we are the future leaders, and our success starts now. La Via ISD, Cardinal Pride.
We envision that San Perlita ISD will help our students acquire the necessary knowledge, communication, and problem-solving skills through a variety of educational and social experiences to become productive citizens in our global society. Be a part of the change to help create a community where we guide each other to our unlimited potential.
Plan your escape. Beach, bay, or both. Sunrises and sunsets daily. Memories made all day. Live music and great food round out your visit. So why wait? SoPadre.com.
We're the St. Joe Bloodhound Cheerleaders, and you're watching Real Sports Live.
Baby, just listen to me.
Escucha.
Everything with
Prontísimo.
Out of home business or
Flexible.
Insurance for all your
Barato.
needs. You say you just got a new boat. Come on by and we'll give you a free quote.
Prontísimo.
Okay, who's singing? Muriel. Hello?
Accesible.
I'm out.
Ask your agent how you can start saving with Pronto. Best price in town.
We are the Border Cowgirls, and you're watching Real Sports Live. Yeehaw!
Ibanez Tortilleria, serving up freshly made in-house corn and flour tortillas since 1994. Try our delicious menudo, tasty barbacoa, fresh tamales, tacos, pareadas with juicy grilled chicken, and tender fajitas. On Mondays, buy one barbacoa taco and get one free if you mention that you're a Bloodhound fan. Located at 4726 Paredes Line Road, Brownsville, Texas. Open every day at 6:30 a.m. till 9 p.m. To order, contact 956-541-9594.
We're the San Bernardino Lady Trojans, and you're watching Real Sports Live.
Our service is unmatched. Our commitment to our team and our community, relentless. Our products are innovative and exciting. Fruya, we're what's next now.
We are the Westaco Lady Panthers, and you're watching Real Sports Live. Yeah!
Music lovers, you have to stop and see the assortment of records, tapes, and records memorabilia at Forever Memories today. Located at 237 North Sam Houston in San Benito, Texas, there's over 10,000 records on display and more coming every day. Looking for your favorite album from the past, first pressings, collectibles. How about a 45 with a single you just have to have? Freddie Fender, Johnny Cash, Hank Williams, Elvis, Beatles, blues, rock, classics, Tejano, it's all here. Organized and priced for you, Forever Memories, 237 North Sam Houston, San Benito.
We are the Red Lady Raiders, and you're watching Real
Hi, I'm Rebecca Castillo. I invite you to visit San Benito and see for yourself the many things this community has to offer. Our offices of economic development offer a variety of business resources to developers, investors, and business owners from small to large scale. Contact us and let us work together on your next business opportunity.
We are the Harlingen Lady Cardinals, and you are watching Real Sports Live.
A world of opportunity awaits students on their unique path to college acceptance and career readiness. The path to college starts on day one in Los Fresnos, a path that starts with a solid foundation rooted in the classroom by exceptional educators. The path to college starts in Los Fresnos. Los Fresnos CISD. What we do here shapes the world.
The most important moments in a child's life happen in their earliest years. Having a strong early childhood education enhances their future and success. That's why we are opening the Harlingen CISD Early Childhood Academy for pre-K students. At HCISD, we provide these opportunities for our youngest learners to foster their imagination and let their curiosity run while they develop their love for learning. These are the early steps to success, and Harlingen CISD is with them every step of the way.
We're the Pace Lady Vikings, and you're watching Real Sports Live.
We're excited to welcome all of our BIC family back, students, and staff. Not only did our staff rise to the challenge of the pandemic, but exceeded expectations to bring our students back face-to-face for instruction. Our theme for this year is to engage, empower, and excel. Our number one priority is still the safety and security of our students and staff. As the largest district in the Valley, it is our responsibility to lead by example. That is why Brownsville ISD is the best choice.
We're the Edinburgh Lady Bobcats, and you're watching Real Sports Live. Woo!
For quality care, contact Mesquite Home Health and Attendant Services today. In Brownsville at 594 Jose Marti Boulevard. Call today, 956-361-5558.
We here at Mesquite want to wish all local athletes good luck in today's game.
We're the Harlingen South Lady Hawks, and you're watching Real Sports Live. Hawks up!
We are back here at Sam Stadium as we get set for the second half of play. I'm Joe Bowling. Aaron Signs are at adjustments, Aaron. We talk about them normally during a broadcast. And first and foremost, you're on the downside of 22-0. Rivera Raiders need to do what?
I think they need to let the quarterback go. I think they need to let him make some decisions on his own. They need to let him, whether he wants to do it with his legs or the arm, just give him the keys to the playbook, if you will, and let him just try to put this game on his shoulders. In moments in the first half, he wanted to. He wanted to get out there. He wanted to show that he can carry this team. I say the second half, let him go. Let him play. What do you have to lose, right? And just see what he can do.
We'll get to the Hawks' keys in just a moment. Kickoff and returnable. The Hawks will fumble it back in the end zone. They got to bring it out. Out to the 5, now the 10, 15, 20, middle of the field, 25. Still on his feet, bouncing to the outside, far side of the field, 30, 35-yard line. That's an exciting return to the 37.
That's number 8, Dylan Anaya. He's a sophomore. He's been in a quarterback a couple times this year for the South Hawks. He's a player that they're really expecting to be the next thing for South. And you can see right there his athletic ability to be able to get away from would-be tacklers, make some moves after muffing the kickoff, by the way. And you can see that the future looks bright for Mr. Anaya there.
22-0 is your score. Harlingen South on top. There is a man shaken up on the play, so that gives us time to break it down. Let's talk about the Harlingen South Hawks. Both teams came in 1-2. It's an important game to try to win and get back to the 500 mark. So what do the Hawks look at? You certainly don't rest on 22-0.
No, I don't think so. I think you got to keep building. You have to have the mindset right now that you're preparing for a brand new district that you're not used to. You're going to see some new teams this year. And so I think after Bird Bowl, after the Westico loss, right, which was a close game, by the way, come in last week, they get one win against Hannah. If you want to really build momentum, you've got to do it here in the second half. Prepare yourself, catapult yourself, if you will, into this new district.
So the Hawks scored 22 points. Another thing that was lost, the fans may not have tuned into that first half. Aaron, we talked about it off air. It could easily be in the 40s to nothing for Harlingen South. They did execute to that level.
And I think we counted 3 touchdowns called back, and those were not short distance touchdowns. They were big gainers, and so like you said, this could be a lot more wide open right now. Rivera's still kind of in hunt, but Southhawks can do a lot right now in this drive to really put maybe too big of a gap.
And for those fans that are watching, big plays can make defense have had to change schemes completely. So big plays can lead to bigger plays if you get on one of those rolls, which is why we talk about, a big play, yes, takes points off the board, but it could take potentially a lot of points off the board down the stretch. First down play now for the Hawks. Low snap, they'll hand it off. Right side, the Rivera Raiders playing hard. You want to see the intensity first if you're the Raiders on the defensive end. They did show some stuff early in the game.
They did. And number 99, Juan P. Coelho, the defensive lineman. I've called his name a couple times and talk about intensity on the defensive side of the ball. He's really that anchor in the middle of that defense on the defensive line. That time he gets across the line of scrimmage and disrupts in the backfield. They got to match his intensity, number 99.
Second down and 11 yards to go after a loss of the yard on the first down play for the Hawks. They'll look to throw here. Sling it left side, and that play is going to gain yards in across the 40, about the 42, but 3rd and 5 coming up.
Raiders definitely getting a little bit more aggressive here in the second half. That time shooting number 24, the linebacker Jesus Fernandez almost gets to August in the backfield, able to get rid of it, but I like the turn up, if you will, that intensity, Joe, on that defensive side of the ball.
Let's call it 3rd and 6 as they mark the ball down shy of the 42. Get it to the 48. You're guaranteed a first down if you're Harlingen South. First possession of the second half. And a 3rd down play. Man in motion left to right. It's a jet sweep. Receiver bobbles it, keeps it, gets a first down. Driven down in Raider territory, but that's a first down for the Hawks.
Seth Vergara, I called his name a couple times this season already. He's an explosive player. This time on the end around, gets a chance to get the football in his hands for one of the first couple times that he has so far this evening. If you watch carefully, you'll see that I think he was trying to adjust his mouthpiece as he was running, Joe, and he was still able to get around on the edge and get some yards for his team.
Well, I thought he was going to be able to adjust it before the ball got in his hands. Suddenly you look down and it was already there. First down play, good concentration to prevent what could have been a turnover. 4 receivers set this time for the Hawks, 3 of those on the far side of the field. On a first down play, and a pass out in the flats to Boss Moss, and he'll take it out across the 45-yard line. Moss, that is. I knew I was going to call him Boss Moss before that was over.
It's interchangeable.
Short gain.
Yeah, and definitely an exciting player to watch. He started getting a little bit more touches here at the end of the first half. Moving on defensive line, by the way, at the end of the first half as well. Curious to see if they're going to do that here. But really, he does well when he can get to the edge. Seal blocks happen, but definitely a key to this offense for sure.
Second down and 6 to go for Harlingen South. August Wilson has been the quarterback throughout. He has 2 backs in the backfield here on this play. He'll hand it off. They'll run it right side. This is Moss again. Hit hard, gains a couple. 3rd down coming up.
One of the things that has impressed me so far tonight for Harlingen South is that they've been running the ball number 9, number 4, number 1, 18 around the edge. And so basically they're showing a very deep backfield, if you will, and really able to run at you with different styles of runners as well. And this time kind of going right in between the tackles, a little old-fashioned there.
Coaches will refer to that as going to the hot body or fresh legs approach. Low snap. Wilson gets it, keeps it. Bounces it outside, got a first down and more. Down to the 30-yard line to the 29.
Speaking of fresh legs, August Wilson, again mentioned earlier in the first half that he is a track runner, a sprinter, able to get on the outside, make something happen with his legs. That time designed run for the quarterback. But, Joe, that low snap has been a problem all night long. They got to address that.
So, again, we are looking at a first down play here. From the 29-yard line, with 8:26 and counting here in the 3rd quarter of play. Harlingen South on top. This is the opening drive of the second half. Impressive thus far for Harlingen South. They want a bundle and overthrown, incomplete.
Had number 11, Jacob Cano, on a slant there open. Really had a couple steps on the defender. Really just overthrown, if you will. Not sure if he was wanting him to run a streak or a post route, but turned on that slant and the ball went outside. and that caused an incomplete pass.
Isaac Randall that time was the defender, and he turned on the Jets. He saw that only one guy might be able to catch it. It might just be me. 2nd down and 10 for the Hawks. Clock stops with 8:15 to go here in the third quarter. Harlingen South took an early lead in this game, 7-0, built on that with 2 more scores. Wilson over the right side, diving attempt, incomplete pass near the 20. 3rd down coming up.
Pressure. I think, Rivera has come out in the second half, and they're really trying to put some pressure on August Wilson in the backfield there. And August seems just a little bit unsettled. He is not able to get his feet settled because he sees those black jerseys coming across the line of scrimmage. And really the pressure they're really putting on them is coming from the defensive tackle position. They're going to shift number 99 back to where he was earlier in that nose guard position, where I feel he's most effective. Let's see if he's able to put some pressure on the quarterback.
3rd down and 10 for the Hawks. Wilson shifts to an empty backfield. Passes it right side. It's caught. Very short yardage gain. Receiver caught it with a knee on the ground. That ends the play right there.
Gabriel Andrade, number 21 for Rivera there on the stop. Great job there, reading that a screen was coming. Saw that a lot of players went unblocked on the inside, so then he was able to target his receiver. Makes a catch, but nothing more. Good awareness there by the defensive back.
They stopped the clock. They called that an incomplete pass. I thought he caught it with a knee on the ground, but incomplete pass was ruled, so 4th down. Wilson, empty backfield here for the Hawks on a 4th and 10 at the Raider 29. Drops back to pass. They pick up the pressure over the middle, and an incomplete pass around the 10-yard line. I don't see a penalty flag. It's going to be a turnover on downs.
Yeah, a little bump there by the defensive back as Seth Vergara was making his cut to the interior of the field, but really a missed opportunity there for South Hawks as the defensive backs weren't on the same page. And either way, Vergara not able to hold on to that one. But, Rivera, good stop for them on this opening drive.
So they flip the field, get the ball, and I'm watching the interchangeable parts over here. It's the first time I've seen a coaching staff do this here at Sam Stadium. And the offensive coaching staff gets the booth, and then everyone exits, and here come they flip it back and forth between offense and defense. That's an incomplete pass there.
Yeah, I say put it on the shoulders of Jesus Hinojosa. I like this player. He's a junior, by the way, and so he's got some growing to do mentally, if you will, but physically he's there. He's got the gifts for it. I'd like to see him get a little more confident, a little more settled in the game, because I think he can do it through the air or on the ground if he chooses to. And so this is going to be a player to watch, Joe, here this year and into next year.
Another player to watch was the intended receiver, Roman Vera, also a junior out there on the field for the Rivera Raiders. Facing a 2nd and 10 on their first drive of the second half from their own 29. Hinojosa, right side. That's going to be caught. Out across about the 34, they'll mark that down.
If you watch Hinojosa throw, he likes to get his feet set, and then he kind of winds up a little bit. May have to work on that, polish that up a little bit, a little quicker release. But if he's able to get his feet set, wind up, he's able to deliver a pretty accurate football. And so I think as he progresses, matures, he's going to be one of the better quarterbacks in this end of the valley.
Fabian Moreno was the receiver. He caught the pass for a 5-yard gain. Clock running was 7:30 to go in the third quarter. Rivera Raiders on a 3rd and 5. Hinojosa drops back to throw. That's going to be nearly picked off. It is! What a play that time on a tip drill.
Number 3, Mikey Gonzalez, read that pass perfectly. Just couldn't get his hands on it, but he tips it up for his teammate, number 4, Ethan Garza, also playing running back, by the way. Check out that replay there. He bobbles it, but is able to get his hands underneath and cradle it, and that's just tip drill city right there, and great job by South Hawks. But hey, hats off to number 3 who made it happen.
Josh Moody Loans, one of our sponsors for our replays on Rio Sports Live. We'll watch it once again on this replay, and you'll see tip, dive, one-handed, and yeah, the pick. Harlingen South takes over. 1st and 10 from the 34. Moss Boss to the left side. Moss Boss has some room. Moss Boss to the 10. Moss Boss to the end zone. 34 yards. Touchdown Hawks.
Moss Boss all the way on that one. What a run by number 1 on the outside, but I have got to give credit to number 9. What a block by David Sanchez on the outside. Watching this replay, he chips that end right there and allows Maspas to get that edge. What did I say earlier? Edge, Maspas, touchdown.
He eludes the final safety at the 10, left him standing still. And 28-0 Harlingen South, and they'll look for the extra point. Turnover converted into points. And an extra point on top. We'll go to a break watching it on our South Padre Island replay screen. One of our sponsors here throughout Rio Sports Live last couple of years. Into the break, kickoff coming up.
Josh Moody and Coach Rolly Gonzalez of Josh Moody Loans are former Harlingen Cardinals and would like to wish all the teams good luck in tonight's games.
Kickoff time coming up here at Sam's Stadium. 29 points on the board, all belonging to the visitors as the Harlingen South Hawks travel here to Brownsville on a Friday night. And right now, Aaron Sines, we both came up with the same word at the same time. Harlingen South, we talked about it in the pregame show. How do you put away last season and stop reflecting on comparing it to this season? You move forward in this game and you gain the one word we talked about.
Confidence. Yeah, you can see that. It's starting to exude from that sideline here with South the past couple weeks, and it took a while to get there, but they're getting it.
They're getting it now. They have a 29-0 lead. They kick it off. It's a short kickoff. It's returnable. We've seen some good stuff on the returns for the Raiders. We see some more stuff here out across the 35. They seem to be within a step or two of getting something big to break on a kick return.
Number 22, Hilario Gonzalez, doing a great job there on the outside. Like you said, just so close to making that even a bigger return. And good to see a little spark there from Rivera.
29-0 the score. The Raiders bring the offense on the field. Now, they had a turnover in the first half. Harlingen South wasn't able to turn that into points this time. It did, and so you're in a hole already, and now it's a deeper hole as Harlingen South defense clamps down. Pass completed here across the 41-yard line. Pitch and catch, and Roman Vera makes that reception.
I think that connection right there, 4-9 to Roman Vera from number 4, Susie Hinojosa, that's going to be something to watch, Joe. I like what I see. They seem to have some confidence, some chemistry. If they can really get rolling and perhaps get something downfield, big, tall receiver, he'll be able to get something on the sideline.
They're both tall. You said it. It's a good-looking target out there for the Raiders. 2nd down and 6. Hinojosa passes it right side this time. That's tipped. Penalty flags fly on the play. Clock stops with 6:32. We'll sort out the flag.
So one of the questions I have here on the they've done a lot over the past couple years to really protect defenders and offensive players as well from chop blocks. And one of the things that Rivera does very well is they're able to get those South defenders on the ground with chop blocks. And so I'm curious to see penalties in that area.
So that'll be a big penalty marched off against the Rivera Raiders. Fans asking about cameras. Well, let's open the curtain again behind the scenes. Many times we are with the assistance of the school districts that are broadcasting the game. Any modifications to cameras, camera angles, camera lighting, anything like that, that is on the production crew. They're doing a great job here. They usually do. I'm not seeing too much at all that is a blurry shot. You may see that eventually or occasionally, but right now it looks to be clean as a whistle. 2nd down play for the Rivera Raiders. And they'll run it across the 30-yard line.
And Reno Villanueva, number 38, kind of doing a good job of getting lateral down line of scrimmage. In other words, he doesn't go too far up the field and he doesn't go backwards. He kind of goes sideways, and he's able to track down the running back and makes a good tackle there for the South Hawks. And South Hawks defense so far pitching a shutout, Joe. I know they'd like to add that to their repertoire for this year. They can hold on.
And I know it's not a stat, but it is something worth mentioning, and that is the number of snaps taken on the 50-yard line. Which side? 90% of this has been on the Rivera Raiders side of the 50. There's a ball up for grabs, tipped, intercepted by the Hawks over this out of bounds.
Wow, what an acrobatic catch by number 19, Carlos Cano. And he goes up and he's able to get another tip drill. We saw that last drive in favor of the Hawks defense, but it just seems like he came down out of bounds, or just out of bounds, and they're going to call it essentially an incomplete pass.
We'll see this play on the replay screen, and tipped and incomplete.
Still 1 foot in high school, by the way.
That's right. 4th down, punting time for the Rivera Raiders. .5:49 to go here in the 3rd quarter. Punt is away. That's a booming kick. Return man fumbles the ball inside the 25, picks it up, makes a man miss, gets back to the 25, now to the 30 and out of bounds about the 31. That was a little bit too exciting on the Hawks side. Desmond Cano that time.
I like the shiftiness, and it's not a name that I've called in any recent history, and so that's a player to watch here for South Hawks. I like the way that he was able to make some people miss, but how about that punt, right? We've been talking about Roman Vera as a wide receiver, big target, but he's got a great leg too, and watch out for those trick punts later on in the season too, because he can run.
We talked about it the first time we saw him line up in punt formation, how deep the Hawk return man went. And he came through with that one, showed off that leg on that punt. First down play from the 30 for the Hawks of Harlingen South. They have ruled the scoreboard here tonight with 29 unanswered points. This play is shut down. They might get a half a yard behind the line of scrimmage. That's about it.
Some new offensive linemen out there, a couple numbers that I didn't recognize earlier. They did keep a couple of their anchor linemen in, but it looks like they're getting some reps for some others, and I like that. But I'm going to tell you what, they're going to have their hands full with number 99, Juan Cuello.
He is active, and he is a force. 2nd down and 11, 5:10 to go here in the 3rd quarter. Hawks with the football, and they'll run it to the outside, and they'll get some room. Blocking out front, 50-yard line, good speed down the sideline to the 30-yard line and out of bounds for Dylan Anaya.
I like the way they've been mixing him in tonight. I think that they're finding a rhythm. They're trying to get number 8 out on the field, trying to get him the football, put it in his hands, because obviously he's got skill. Watch this replay here. He's able to get separation on the outside. If it wasn't for this last defender here, he would have been gone another 40-yard dash there. But I like how they're mixing it in, right? They're taking what was potentially a quarterback drama at that situation, and they're using both players well.
Anaya lines up to take this snap on this first down play. Drops back to throw. Gets it to the right side, caught inside the 30. That's good enough for about a 5 or 6 yard gain.
Next to number 11, Jacob Cano, a junior as well. And so, you know, as you're seeing some of these seniors start to take leadership, that confidence, I think, comes from that experience. But it's good to see some young talent here for South Hawks as well.
We'll have to name our player of the game at the conclusion of this one. Right now we've got some new names on the field for the second half. And so we'll be conversing off the air about who we're going to pick for our player of the game. On this one, obviously, we're still not finished. It's a 29-0 game with 4:37 to go in the 3rd quarter. Anaya stays in at quarterback, and he'll call his own number. This time he's tripped up. Short of first down yardage by about a half yard, maybe? Yeah. 3rd down coming up.
Yeah, and this replay here, Joe, you know, you can see here on Real Sports Live. And just a good job by number 4, Ethan Gaddisai. A lot of these runs, obviously, have come off of very crucial blocks. And so what I like is when these running backs don't have the ball in their hands, they're being really good blockers for their buddies as well.
4:11 to go here in this 3rd quarter. Hawks on a 3rd and 1. Anaya, the quarterback. Play clock down to 8 as he waits and takes this snap. And here's another big play down to the 10-5. Ethan Garza finds pay dirt again. Touchdown, Hawks.
Ethan Garza, what did I just say? He blocked, opened that up for his teammate. Now it's his turn. He gets the football, he takes it for a touchdown. I've seen him block tonight. I've seen him on defense. I've seen him running the football. Now he gets a touchdown. Great night for number 4, Ethan Garza.
Puts 6 more on the board for Harlingen South. Makes it a 35-0 game. Extra point coming up. There's an injury on the field behind the play, though. And so we'll attend to that. While they do that, well, we'll just go ahead and keep it here. Looks like he got up under his own power and is okay. So we'll keep it here. Otherwise, I would have taken a break.
See him pop up like that, right, Joe? I mean, anything can happen. At the end of the day, we want all these players to be healthy, safe, get to next week. So good to see him pop up.
Raider team has got a district that they're going to have to find a way to fix some things, because they're out of the gate. It was a lot of question marks in 32-6A, which is where this Rivera Raider resides. Harlingen, how good were they? I got to see them against Mercedes, and they look really good. You've got to see them a couple of times. San Benito doing what they need to do over at Mission Veterans. How good are they? I got to see them here against Brownsville Veterans, in which Brownsville Veterans had 5 possessions, were marching every possession and turned it over every single time. San Benito ended up winning that game. Good teams find ways to win games. How good is San Benito? Remains to be seen. How good is Harlingen? Pretty good and getting better. How good is Los Fresnos? Better than last year. This Rivera team is going to have to dial it up. And down here in this one, you don't stop. You just keep playing, because bigger things are down the road. Extra point is good. Hawks lead this one 36-0. We'll expand a little bit of that on the districts for both of these teams after this.
Hija, tomorrow's your quinceañera. I need you to call your padrinos and tell them thank you for the salon, the tamales, the dress, el DJ.
Ay, Ama, you called them. I didn't even want a quinceañera in the first place. I would have preferred to have gone to Paris instead.
I will, fine. I'm gonna give you your surprise gift early.
Huh?
Guess what? You're going to Paris.
How?
Well, I've been saving mucho dinero all year in insurance thanks to Pronto Insurance.
Let's just skip the quinceañera and go straight to Paris.
Call your padrinos right now.
Okay.
Ask your agent how you can start saving with Pronto. Best price in town.
We are the Edinburgh North Lady Cougars, and you're watching Real Sports Live.
I love what I do. I really
love what
do.
I'm doing. I love children.
One of the most important things to do is to love your students.
Imagine teachers like these helping your child prepare to change the world. Take a closer look at Mission CISD.
Our service is unmatched. Our commitment to our team and our community, relentless. Our products are innovative and exciting. Fruya, we're what's next now.
Ibanez Tortilleria, serving up freshly made in-house corn and flour tortillas since 1994. Try our delicious menudo, tasty barbacoa, fresh tamales, tacos, variadas with juicy grilled chicken, and tender fajitas.
Back here as we resume play. Kickoff by the Hawks, return by the Raiders. Out across the 30-yard line again to the 31.
With the return,
Now the Rivera Raiders come out. Let's talk about it a little bit. We looked at the schedules, took a peek, and let's just talk about the direction these teams are going next. Nobody taking a break just yet. Hawks first.
Yeah, Hawks first. So they're going to be going up against some tough ones. Wesco East next week. Wesco East is always a very strong team, right? They have up and down, sure, but it's going to be a very physical matchup for these South Hawks. They're going to get tested physically next week.
And this Rivera Raider team.
They're going to have some big matchups. They're at Harlingen and at San Benito.
That's that District 32-6A. And the two tougher teams that I can see on paper are both road games for this Raider team. Out across the 35 to the 36-yard line. That's good enough for a 5-yard gain. A lot of excitement over there for the Harlingen Cardinals, Aaron Signs. I know you're at Bogus Stadium on any Friday night that somebody's there. Harlingen won the Bird Bowl. That was pretty much expected this year with the way the talent played out on paper. But Cardinals starting to turn some heads, especially with that win last week against Mission Veterans and rolling.
Yeah, and last night from what little I was able to see as well from that game.
That's a nice run there by the Raiders, is getting out across is Hinojosa. And then a penalty flag comes in late.
What I could see even last night was that they're dominating that game. I know lots of backstory on that, but you got to see last week. I mean, Harlingen, to me, in my opinion, is probably the best team I've seen.
Yeah, so I waited. The last couple of years have been, no way to put it other than down years for the Harlingen Cardinals. The tradition, the expectations always so high, regardless of what the coaching staff knows is coming back. And but now this team seems poised. I saw them really utilize the running game against the Mercedes Tigers. They've also opened up some passing game. They're working on some other weapons. Aaron, I think this is one of those teams that I think they're better than what people expected out of the gate, but not as good as what Manny Gomez thinks they're going to be at the end of the season. This is one of those magical teams that he could build on and will get better every week. Penalty flags there. We can expand on that. Go ahead.
And I think the depth and wrinkles, right? What do I mean by that? Depth, they've got multiple players at the skill positions that really have been untapped so far this year, Bill. And I can see the speed on the field. I can see the potential for opening up the playbook if necessary in district, okay? And what we've known with Coach Gomez over the years is that sometimes he can show up at a playoff game and open up a different playbook that the opposing team hasn't watched on film. And they're going to have that opportunity this year. And then, the depth that they have at those positions, and then the wrinkles, like I said, you don't know what to expect with them week to week.
Raiders with a pass play out across the 35. That's broken up. 2:31 as the clock stops here in the third quarter. We're talking some expanded stuff for you fans that are out there tuning in. It's a 36-0 game right now with the Rivera Raiders trailing, and so it does give us a chance to talk about some things outside of the game in front of you, but it doesn't mean we're not concerned. We are, and we'll bring you each and every play as it goes along. 3 receivers set now for the Raiders on the right side, a single receiver to the left side on this second down play. And they'll look to throw again. Time is given. There's a contact there, and they've been asking for a penalty flag. They get one this time, Aaron.
I just like, Hinojosa. Hinojosa, he rolls out to his outside. He's trying to put that football where only his receiver can get to it. And he's doing a pretty good job. And a couple times the cornerback has been draped over the receiver. This time they get the call.
And again, fans, if you haven't circled it already, on the long-term scout for the Rivera Raiders, and I'm talking all the way into next year, the combination of Hinojosa and Roman Vera. Vera was the intended receiver there, Hinojosa the quarterback. They're both juniors, and they're going to get nothing but better and more on sync. That just develops. And those are two weapons the Rivera Raiders can certainly build on. 3 receivers out to the right-hand side on this play. Now a first down at the Harlingen South 25, and they will run it, but they won't get anywhere. Ball carrier that time was Luis Reyes, and he was met by 3 defenders for the Harlingen Hawks.
Yeah, and I think they're still trying to work their playbook. I talked about that expanded playbook earlier, and I think Rivera right now, early in the season, we forget that these teams have only been playing games for about 3 weeks or so. And so, and by the way, before you get in district, you don't want to show everything.
No.
And so you get into these types of situations right here, you cannot simulate this at practice. So open it up a little bit, try some different things.
Ruben Riccio is a senior wideout to the far right side of your screen on this 4 receiver set. They'll look in his direction, and now they'll deliver a pass right on his right side. Just couldn't bring it in. I didn't know they were throwing it to him, Aaron, but that was one of those you call the name right out. Might as well keep with it, right?
He stuck with it, and I think, the one thing that number 4, Jose's going to have to work on is if you're going to lead with your eyes. And so, he took that snap, he looked right over there, he told the defenders where he was going, and even at that, he almost completed that pass. And so, it shows some arm talent. I think as he matures, he'll learn to look off defenders and things like that, but I like what I'm seeing from him.
Minute 43 to go here in the third. This, if memory serves me right, is as far as Rivera has marched into Harlingen South territory in the ball game as they're set up at the 25. Deep drop, pass up, and it's going to be out of bounds. Penalty flags all over the place. That was intended for Vera. Talk to me about, I believe, what happened, Aaron, here, and that is he got pushed out of bounds.
He was pushed out of bounds, and he was forced that way, which is a good job by the cornerback, by the way, if there was not contact. And so what I think we're going to find out here, now if he runs the route out of bounds, hey, no problem. But if there was contact, especially after that 5-yard buffer, they're going to call it on him. But that connection, it's going to be there, Joe. I'm waiting for that one this game, and that could have been it if it wasn't for that.
Yeah, Vera was for once in man-to-man coverage, deep downfield, and the protection was there. It is the call that we expected, and that is, yes, you're taught as a defender corner to edge the receiver out of bounds, but the minute you start making contact, that's when the flag comes out, and that's what happened there.
Yeah, great play otherwise by the defender if he just would have kept his hands off of him. So I like this matchup here. It's one-on-one again, by the way.
He's isolated to the near side of your screen over here on the left. They'll hand it off up the middle. Again, the running game has pretty much been shut down by the Harlingen South Hawks here. And that started early.
It really did, and we talked earlier in the game about the pass opening up the run. Well, the run really never did open up. And so, in that, look, you've got man-to-man coverage on the outside. Throw a jump ball for number 9 in Rivera in the end zone. He's got about a foot over number 25, who's a sophomore, by the way, playing a great game. He's got his hands full. Man, I'd love to see a just jump ball here at the corner.
It's a red zone possession. That's the first time I've said that for the Rivera Raiders, as they're inside the Hawk 20 on this second down play. They'll look to throw over the middle into coverage. That's picked, tipped, incomplete pass. They went for Vera. They went in the end zone, double coverage.
Yeah, Mikey Gonzalez came over the safety to help over the top, and I think because the coaches probably saw like, hey, you know what, we got man-to-man out here, a little bit of a higher advantage. Great smart move by the defensive coaches here to bring Mikey over to help there, and that really saved a touchdown in my opinion.
You'll see here, that pass was delivered, and that's what you call blanketed coverage. Man with the receiver, man near the receiver, and an incomplete pass. Third down play for the Rivera Raiders. Ball inside the 20 for the first time in the game. They'll run it right-hand side. Get a block this time. Take it down around the 10-yard line. Another carry for Luis Reyes. He's short of first down yardage. And fourth down, and after they mark it down, 4th and 4.
The defense started shifting. You can see them shift to the strong side of that offensive line, if you will. And I think it looked like an RPO run-pass option, right, where the quarterback has a choice, and he gave instead of pulling it. Maybe you should have pulled it and thrown it.
For the fourth down snap, there was a whistle and a timeout on the field. Harlingen South wants to talk it over. They're pitching a shutout, and Aaron, that's probably what they're talking about. It's a pride check time on the sidelines. Don't get caught up that you're winning. Consistently set a goal. And our goal right now is to get the shutout. They're talking about that right now.
Definitely. I think, as a defensive coach, as all coaches, right? But as a defensive coach, you're proud of those players down there, and you want that shutout. If you're an Rivera, a win right now is to get on the board. I mean, you're down 36-0, but you're playing now for pride. You're playing now for momentum, if you will, heading into next week. And so, this is a chess match now. And I think if you score or don't score, I think it matters.
For the Hawks, it's the chess match is with the coaching staff to challenge the players. It looks easy on the scoreboard. You're up 36-0. Right. Now, it's a fourth down play, and picture what if this was the game on the line. Somebody make a play. Let's see. So fourth down, and it's going to be 4 yards to go. They marked him down outside of the 10, around the 11-yard line. And so to get a first down, the Rivera Raiders are going to have to take it inside the 8. Get to the 7, you got a first down. Get to the 8, we're going to depend on the mark. They missed on a fourth down conversion on the opening drive. Now we get here into the third quarter, and before the snap, the whistle blows. Just checking things over for the officials to start the play clock, and away we go. 4th and 4. They'll look to throw. Over the middle. Caught. Touchdown, Rivera Raiders. What a play.
Roman Rivera, number 9, finally gets one in the end zone, Joe. He's been working hard all evening long on that outside coverage, and this time they sent him on slant up the middle. Watch this replay here. Great poise in the pocket, great position, body position by the receiver, and he's able to get in front of that defender, and he's just a big body, tall guy, and a great spot, great throw, touchdown.
And don't question the arm strength of Hinojosa. He displayed it there. We'll look at the replay again after the extra point, because I'm telling you, he threw that through the secondary. There was guys there, but that ball was past them in the blink of an eye. Extra point is good. We'll take it to the Josh Moody replay screen as we head to the break. Again, watch the arm strength. This is not an easy pass to make through these defenders. Watch how this ball zips. And this is after a timeout. Watch how many defenders are between he and Vera. 4 guys were there, and that ball somehow got to the receiver. That'll be picked apart in the film room, but we caught it there. Back after this.
And get one free if you mention that you're a Bloodhound fan. Located at 4726 Paredes Line Road, Brownsville, Texas. Open every day at 6:30 a.m. till 9 p.m. To order, contact 956-541-9594.
Sherryland ISD, a nationally recognized district focusing on quality and rigorous instruction where every child is immersed in a culture of academic success. A district dedicated to preparing our youth for the future. Our mission is to inspire, educate, and empower all students to reach their full potential and become leaders of the highest moral character. Sherryland ISD, excellence is our tradition.
Welcome back. The Rivera Raiders on the scoreboard, 36-7. Their home crowd, I'll say this about Sam's Stadium home crowds, they usually stick around, and they have. They're making some noise. The middle school bands performed, and they were here to cheer on their team as they scored their first points of the game. Hawks on the return of the kickoff. Taken to the wide side of the field. There's a penalty on the back side of this. So they'll take it out across the 50. Huge hit delivered over there, and then another penalty comes in.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 flags.
And another one just got thrown.
This is holding. I think 3 officials saw this here, and I think that may be a late hit.
A late hit. Well, there were 3 that threw it here, and then another official came running over and was like, "Hey, let me drop mine. Everyone else is throwing flags." Last night it was funny because an official had dropped a flag and didn't realize it, and the coaches held on to it forever. And then there was a play that was going for a score, and all of a sudden a random flag come flying out on the field. We'll sort all these penalties out. 12 seconds to go in the third quarter. We got a good one over in La Feria. La Feria Lions and Mercedes Tigers. La Feria now on top of that one, 34-20. Rudy Zamaripa Jr. on the call over there. That is going back and forth. There's your hold. A late hit personal foul. The spot of the most flags on the field are around the 30-yard line. The biggest penalty on the field, as far as yardage go, was the final one. We'll sort it out on where they end up marking this ball down.
That was Dylan and I there on the outside number 8. Again, just
comes out, and the Hawks offense will be under his operation for a second time here. Last time out, they were able to score, add to their lead. It's now 36-7 with 12 seconds to go in the third. And they'll look for a bundle on the right side. That's going to be tipped away, incomplete. Defended well over there by Isaac Rangel.
He did a great job of just body position and keeping himself between the quarterback and the receiver, and he was able to run with that receiver downfield, and that's hard to do, especially when you're having to swivel your hips and make moves, and these cornerbacks' job is a very difficult one, and especially when you're being stretched on the field. So good job there by head number 13.
6 seconds left here in the third quarter. Clock stopped on the incomplete pass. Second down for Anaya. Sees a blitz up the middle. They'll run away from that. Anaya keeps it, got to the right at the 40-yard line. Third down coming up.
That's at number 11 in the middle of that blitz right there. That's Eric Arevalo, and he was able to free up number 14 on the outside, Angel Garcia, and he was one that actually made the tackle. Some young players here for Rivera as well.
That takes us to the end of the third quarter. Fourth quarter coming up. Hawks on top, 36-7. Home of the Raiders on a Friday night is Sam Stadium. Back with more after this.
Baby, just listen to me.
Escucha.
Do everything with speed.
Prontísimo.
Out of home business or
Flexible.
insurance for all your needs.
Barato.
You say you just got a new boat. Come on by and we'll give you a free quote.
Prontísimo.
Okay, who's singing near you? Hello?
Accesible.
Pregúntale a tu agente cómo ahorrar con Pronto, porque más barato, nadie.
Music go up.
Third down and 6 as we start the fourth quarter of play here at Sam Stadium for the Harlingen South Hawks. Anaya, the quarterback, on a read, hands it off. They'll take it left side. That's short of first down yardage. Quickly wrapped up. David Sanchez, the junior, on the ball carry.
Just again, I reiterate that, I called him a handful of different ball carriers tonight for Harlingen South, and number 9 has been right in there. David Sanchez, more of a blocker tonight, but it's good for him to be able to get that payoff and get the ball in his hands as well. South, under the sophomore quarterback, offense looks okay, but little spurts there. But either way, not able to really convert. Fourth down coming up.
Rare opportunity in which we get to see the punting unit on the field. I'm not sure we've seen a punt yet for Harlingen South here in this game. Low snap, they'll get to it, kick it away. Wobbly kick, Vera back there to return it. He won't be able to as it goes out of bounds. Might have been the second punt, but that might have been the first punt for the Hawks tonight. That says something as well.
It is. Esteban Morales, he's been handling the extra point field goal duty. He had that one miss earlier, but definitely first time we've seen him punt the ball tonight.
One reason for that is during the entire first half, there was maybe 3 plays on the Hawks side of the 50-yard line. Everything else was played on the Rivera side. That, too, changes play calling. It changes a lot of direction in which the game will go. Again, it's not a stat that I keep, but plays on your side of the 50. We'll see if any coach actually tracks that. First down play for the Raiders. They'll run it right-hand side across the 20 to the 24-yard line. We're seeing new faces on the field for both teams right now.
And they do keep number 44, the Hawks do. That's Gilbert Lerma. He had that touchdown earlier, remember? He's been that stalwart on the defensive line. They do keep some faces in as they're rotating in new ones. And again, you cannot simulate this in practice, Joe. I mean, the intensity, the crowd. And so get your players in there, give them experience. This is a learning experience for them now for the rest of the season.
It gives them energy as well to go out there and work harder in practice that, hey, I will get to play on a Friday night. And it does a lot of things. Second down here for the Raiders. They look to pass. They do so. Left-hand side, Vera with a catch. That's quickly covered up. Good defense played that time by the Hawks of Harlingen South.
I'm pretty sure that's number 16, Chris Martinez. He just flew in there. He blew up that play. And that was something you see on film because you're able to read what the formation is. And, man, he just came across and he just rolled over the blocker and went right into the tackle. So great play there with number 16.
Vera may be a big target on the receiving side. He's also a big target to come after when you're laying your sights to deliver a big hit. Third down, needing 6 are the Raiders. Receivers to the wide side of the field. That's the right. And they will have the quarterback keep it. He's hemmed in. Got to the 25, well short of a first down. Either that was busted or just covered so well by the Harlingen South Hawks, it looked like it was busted.
Yeah, and I agree with you. And I think that either way, number 4 is going to give you a chance, even with a busted play. I just see that he has that attitude that, if I need to make this happen, I will. Regardless of everything else falls around me. And that's something you can build in because that's leadership and that's a sacrifice. So, again, he's been hit a lot tonight. Hopefully he's healthy for next week, but I like what I see from that young man.
Clock running, and the Raiders bring in the punt team. Good snap. The kick is away. Fair catch is called for and made at the 45-yard line, and well, we've talked a lot about him as a receiver. Roman Vera is a punter to put down as one of the better punters in the Valley.
That may have hit the scoreboard at AT&T Stadium. That was a skyrocket punt there. That was beautiful.
Hawks offense back on the field. Again, when they were out there, the first teamers, if you will, August Wilson and company, I'm talking when the Hawks had August Wilson at quarterback, they produced. They controlled this ball game. Now Anaya on the field, getting some snaps here for another drive. Hands it off. Running right-hand side is Alvin Edwards. He's a sophomore. Edwards takes it into the 50-yard line, back into Raider territory once again for the Hawks.
Looks like it's going to be a holding penalty. He threw it right on the outside of that offensive line. Great run there, but it could have been because of that hold on the outside.
There's your call, and it does march it back. Reminding you a game tomorrow morning at 11 o'clock here at Sam's Stadium. Rudy Zamaripa Jr. is going to be calling that one. He has been just driving me crazy. I want to do a game at Sam's. I want to do a game at Sam's.
I see why. It's nice here.
No, Saturday morning games, it's beautiful here. The sun's at your back, and it's just like you're in this air-conditioned just cathedral for broadcasting games. Our appreciation to Gilbert Lee Allen, the Brownsville School District, for providing us the spot to broadcast the game. I've said that often. I'll say it many more times. First down play for the Hawks. Anaya on his horse. Shows some speed, gets thrown out of bounds. Grown on the far side of maybe wanting a hit out of bounds, and I think he did a pretty good job that time. Angel Garcia could have made that look a lot worse.
Yeah, I think so. And I think, they want a horse collar play, but there has to be the pulling down.
Yes.
So, you got the collar, but you're not pulling down, then it's not going to be a horse collar. It was close, though.
It was close. It was close. He got his hand in the right position. You're right. If he goes to the ground and pulls him down, that's a horse collar. He stayed above him and kind of pushed him down, which is what kept it away. Timeout called by the Hawks. They weren't going to get that snap off. They lead, Bo, by 36-7. We'll be back with more right after this.
Records, tapes, and records memorabilia at Forever Memories today. Located at 237 North Sam Houston in San Benito, Texas, there's over 10,000 records on display and more coming every day. Looking for your favorite album from the past? First pressings, collectibles. How about a 45 with a single you just have to have? Freddie Fender, Johnny Cash, Hank Williams, Elvis, Beatles, blues, rock, classics, Tejano, it's all here. Organized and priced for you. Forever Memories, 237 North Sam Houston, San Benito.
Come visit our new store in downtown Harlingen. We have furniture, appliances, clothes, collectibles, and more. All funds collected support the Sunny Glen Children's Home. Come see us at Vintage on Jackson at First and Jackson in Harlingen.
Second down for the Hawks of Harlingen South after a timeout. They got to get to the 45 of the Raiders to get a first down. On this second down play, they will, on a long count, drop back Anaya to throw. Hesitates, slings it, overthrows his man, incomplete pass. Looking for Seth Vergara.
Yeah, just hasn't really been able to get into a groove this evening. Playing also when you have two different quarterbacks come in, you're going to have two different throwing styles, even different velocities on the football. But someone to watch out for, number 18 moving forward for the season as well. Definitely has a lot of talent and speed down there.
Vergara, a senior who, in the blink of an eye, went from some woe-is-me times on the football field to that wild ride last year into the playoffs. Closing it out on his senior year with a team that has a chance to make the playoffs again. Catches a pass here. Now he'll be running after the catch. Got near first down yardage. Vergara, the senior, gets it to the 44. But again, that's the talk about the seniors. One thing is being able to go out like the past several senior classes have not been able to, and that's with a winning program making it to the playoffs. But it also builds, and I know Israel Gonzalez, when he took this job, said he had so much work to do. First of all, to get the mentality about being a Harlingen South Hawk was first. Second was, can we get more people out of the hallways to start playing? And the way you do that is have success on the field and have seniors being able to talk about, well, my senior year we made it to the playoffs. My junior year and senior year we made it to the playoffs. He's going to have guys that are going to say that if all goes right here this season.
I think so, and I think you're so right. Establishing the culture is so important, and I think a lot of strides were made towards that last year, and so you're seeing that again this year. We're still building on it. Again, remember, we went down 2 games in a row this year, and so I think some fans, some students, even some players were kind of like, oh, here we go again. But you've seen the last 2 weeks and building on to next that culture is starting to kind of take over, and it's going to have to take hold and get that confidence back this year.
You right the ship, and you do it with little steps. Israel Gonzalez will be the first to tell you. He knew he had a lot of talent last year, but he wanted to build on that, and he wanted to get more bodies in uniforms. Running play here. Quarterback keeps it. Hinojosa takes on tacklers. Now the ball comes out. Picked up by the Hawks, and they'll have it at the 41.
Let me tell you what, if we're going to get that instant replay, keep an eye on number 32, Caleb Anaya. He purposefully punched that football out, Joe. He knew exactly what he was doing. Watch this replay here. You're going to watch number 32. He's on the outside. He's going to squeeze back to the inside. Right, watch his right arm. Boom, right there. Ball pops out right into his buddy's arms. And they're able to convert that. What a play there by number 32.
So the Hawks defense comes out with a turnover. They'll get the ball back at the 41, 7:28 to go. I don't think the coaching staff is switching seats anymore. They're all comfortable sitting over here for Harlingen South. Otherwise, that would have been a one play and get back up. Man in motion this time for the Hawks is Ethan Garza. Anaya going to keep it. Ends up getting 4 on that play. Clock will run.
Yeah, coaches were kind of calling for that one. You cannot make forward progress to the line of scrimmage before the ball is snapped. And so if you're careful watching Ethan got us at number 4, he turns upfield before they snap that ball. So coach was like, hey, that's going to be illegal motion, but they didn't call it. That one went by.
You got to get to indoor football before that's allowed.
Yeah, there you go.
That's the biggest difference I can start with on indoor football is those receivers on the running starts. It's fun to watch.
Yeah.
Second down play, call it 6 yards to go for the Hawks. Anaya with 2 backs in the backfield, sends one of them out in motion, and he'll keep it looking for a block to the left side of the field. There's a penalty flag thrown as Anaya gets out of bounds. And this one most likely coming back and against the Hawks.
I'm impressed with that field judge's arm back there. He threw that flag about 25 yards, Joe, and I think he wanted to affirm the earlier holding call. That's going to be against South Hawks for sure.
It's not that I just saw a penalty. I saw it right here, and he delivers the
marker. Right
yep. There. You want to know why? It was right here that it happened.
Yep.
And that other game, again, that's a close one between LaFeria and Mercedes. LaFeria had a 2-touchdown lead. Mercedes just cut that down to a 1-score lead. LaFeria, though, trying to answer. Mercedes may just break it right on cue. They will. A 90-yard touchdown run. And they're an extra point away from tying that one up in LaFeria at 34 apiece. I know you're watching this one, but Rio Sports Live gives you the ability to go from game to game. And in many cases, we have people that watch it on television and also watch something else on their phone. Second down play. Hawks pass it right-hand side. Nice move made after the catch, and more moves made. Now across the 40, still on his horse to the 35-yard line on a great run by Seth Vergara.
Yeah, he's kind of catching steam here late in the game. This is who he is. This is what he does. This is what he's been doing this season. But now he's starting to get comfortable with that, trying to make those plays, and the ball's getting into his hands. Here he is on the outside. Watch that replay. Just making a couple of people miss. He's very quick on his cuts and able to break some ankles there. And great play there by the senior.
Third down. Again, because of the penalty yardage, they had to go a long way to get a first down. 3rd and 4 now, though. You call that a manageable third down. Running play, right side for the Hawks. Falls comes loose. That was drilled out of the hands of Alvin Edwards, and it looks like the Raiders recover.
Talk about a nose for the football. Uvetta saying we could do that too, and they're able to punch one out now and get the ball on the ground and able to get this replay. Watch this replay. He tries to get on the outside here, makes a move, bounces because the offensive line was not able to get that movement. There's about 3 or 4 jerseys. I can't tell which one, Joe, but someone popped a hand in there and made that ball come loose.
Raiders recover it. There is an injury on the field. We'll take a break. Our replays sometimes are sponsored by South Padre Island. We'll let you look at it one more time. And again, we coaches talk about this on the defensive end. If you have someone running in front of you, one of your first attack points is get the ball out by punching it out. And that's what you seen earlier, and that's what you saw there. Turnover, Raider ball after this.
Traigo 100 kilos de ropa, lo que se me antoja, dinero en el banco. Muchas me andan criticando, pues traigo carrazos que como le hago. Tengo aseguro del bueno, pronto y flexible y sale barato. Es mi corrido humilde, que no se te olvide que me ando ahorrando.
Ask your agent how you can start saving with Pronto. Best price in town.
We're the Harlingen South Lady Hawks, and you're watching Real Sports Live. Hawks up!
Forever Memories, Antiques and Collectibles, located at 237 North Sam Houston in San Benito, is filled with vintage items, collectibles, and a selection of vinyl records that's as good.
Pitch out for the Raiders. They'll run it, but that'll be strung out, and a loss on the play as the Hawks are able to take that one down. 5:38 to go here in this one. We're going to have to name a player of the game right now. We'll talk about it on screen. I've got Ethan Garza as my player of the game. You can argue him off if you want, but Aaron, he's been on both sides of the field when it was needed and contributed with big plays.
Tackling, blocking, running. I didn't go back and see if he had a catch, but if he did, I mean, he's done it all tonight. And so I've called his name several times. I'm with you.
He'll be our Economy Awards player of the game, and he'll receive our Real Sports medal, which has been a big deal this year for Real Sports. It was a big deal anyway because we were constantly bombarded of, hey, did you get my picture up? Did you get my picture up? Well, who got the player of the game? Who got the player? Now with these medals, man,
That's awesome.
It's cool. Economy Awards, the superintendent of San Isidro is part of Economy Awards, and he retired, and he called me, and he's like, hey, why don't you give some medals out? And I was like, well, that would be cool. And so he started it with our showcases and brought us medals to give to the winning teams. And he's like, I want to give a medal to every player next year that you name. And I was like, you realize that we did about 1,200 games last year. There's a pass play outside. That's going to be incomplete around the 40-yard line.
That's a lot of medals.
Oh, man, it's a lot of medals. And but yeah, and now it's just it's a big deal. The kids are getting them, and they're enjoying the photos. It's just part of the growth of Real Sports Live. But again, Economy Awards, the ones that are delivering those medals to Real Sports Live.
Well deserved tonight. I'm with him, Ethan Garza. I think he deserves it, and I think he's going to enjoy that medal.
4:26 to go. This is my first look at the Harlingen South Hawks, believe it or not, since Israel Gonzalez. I wasn't able to see him last year. I was at games in the Coastal Bend. Just this year, I'll talk about it after this punt. Hawks will let that bounce. Raiders will let it go, and it takes a Raider bounce down to about the 34-yard line. Yeah, last year and the year before, especially in 2020 after COVID, I was, we went from one system, which was Dahlia and I running around everywhere, to 20 systems and getting set up from here to Kennedy to Victoria, out to Georgetown. And on any given night, I was putting on 600-700 miles and then landing at a final spot to announce a game. Continued last year for a little bit, and then this year, all the crews are pretty much settled in, and so I made the commitment that, you know what, now I'm just kind of directing the show. I'm just going to sit at Sam's and call some games, and so that's the relaxation of yours truly. Moving it on. Pass play for the Hawks, and that'll be completed, and then out of bounds or down at around the 40-yard line.
Well, football fans in Rio Grande Valley are definitely thankful for work at that, Joe, and Real Sports Live. And, if you're a real football fan here in the Valley, you have the option to be able to say, well, what's the game of the week? And maybe you can't go physically, but you can tune in. And I know when that Roku hits, it's going to take it to another level. And so, I appreciate all the hard work that you put into that. The boss as well.
Yeah, the boss is happy. Here's another pass play for the Hawks out across the 35-yard line to the 40 and to the 45 out of the 47-yard line. We got 3 minutes and 28 seconds left here in this fourth quarter of play. Again, the Roku channel is coming, and here's what it's going to entail, fans. You'll be able to turn on your smart television or your Roku device, and it will be the Real Sports Live app. Within the app will be a primary channel, secondary channels, video on demand, all at your fingertips, drilling down to the point where 24/7 coverage around the clock of a network of channels. And it's all going to be within the next week or probably week to 10 days. We've done some final testing. We got the final approvals. All of that's done. It's been published, and we're just making sure it looks good on our side. But that was the dream from day one, to build a channel. I was working at Channel 4. That's no secret there, and I always said, I get 3 minutes to do a sportscast, and there's so many stories behind the games that if we could just open up something that would be sports, you could fill it with content for 24 hours a day. Running play for the Hawks, well, that's coming. And once it gets on Roku, then the next platform initially was going to go straight to Apple so that those with Fire Sticks could get it on their smart televisions. But the transition is going to be, we're going to jump past Apple and go to a phone app. So the second platform will be a phone app, because traditionally a lot of our fans are doing what they're doing here tonight. They're watching the game live, and they've got their phone on the LaFerrier game. So we're going to open it up so the people with phones can get there. And also it gives you the ability to cast from your phone to your television should you have any type of streaming capabilities whatsoever between the communications. Pass play for the Hawks again across the 40-yard line. Talking a little bit long here, but I do want to let the fans know what's coming. And it's been built. I said it from day one. I'm working with whoever I'm working with, and that means the television experience is me and, well, no one. And so I was doing everything that I wanted to build a television station with one hand and probably most times two hands tied behind my back. But yet the strive forward to the end game is going to be seen in, it's going to open up this week. Extremely proud. Watch for these social media posts. We've even been asked, do you want to have a launch party? We'll have it in our gym if you want to unveil it. And we've actually got schools lining up saying, hey, let's have it here. So we'll see.
Hey, well, kudos to everything, all the work that's been done. As a fan of sports, high school sports in the Valley, we're very appreciative and looking forward to all that is coming. It's going to be awesome. And so y'all get ready. It's going to be even more at your fingertips if you're a sports fan here in the Valley.
Just wait. You want sports centers, you're going to get them.
And it's, at the end of the day, it's exposure for our kids. Check this out.
There's a running play for the Hawks down around the 10-yard line. That's Anaya again. He's like, are you sure you want to give that medal to Ethan Garza? Yeah. I've got some big plays here.
He's got some good special teams plays from earlier in the game as well. But definitely show, again, I said earlier, I know there's a lot of excitement around Dylan Anaya, and we can see why. He's definitely got some flashes tonight, and they're utilizing him well. And hopefully everything's okay here on the field with this Rivera Raider player.
Got a Raider shaken up at the point of the final tackle. Under a minute to go, 55 seconds remain. We'll take our final break and come back and get you set for the final of this one. 36-7, Hawks lead. They'll have the ball at the 10 after this.
Every aisle and table is filled daily by a number of vendors that ensures that something here just might be the item you have to have. The vinyl record area helps bring an added atmosphere that makes for the fun trip when stepping back in time with the memories. Forever Memories, Antiques and Collectibles in San Benito.
I'm a 5th grader at Champion Elementary, and next year I'm going to be at 6th grade at Perkins Middle School.
My favorite thing about my school is that they make it fun for us to learn. As an 8th grader, I'll be able to take high school classes in middle school.
Well, I take a lot of the dual enrollment classes that TSC offers to us.
They have given me an early start on what I will
what I want to become in the future, which is a mathematics teacher.
That's why Brownsville ISD is the best choice.
Hi, I'm Rod Rodriguez, and I'm
back here. It'll be first and goal for the Harlingen South Hawks. Meanwhile, in the Ferry, I'm going to keep you up to date on that. It went into overtime. LaFeria scored in their first possession of overtime. Mercedes just had a touchdown call back. And so they get a second opportunity, and it looks like they are going to get in the end zone. And so that's going to go back and forth in an overtime affair. Mercedes and LaFeria. Here the Hawks run the ball. It's Amaya. Penalty flags rain in from all over the field. Well, how many touchdowns have been called back tonight for the Hawks?
4? Is that 4? Sounds about right.
At least. And I always say this. Coaches, they won't tell you they want to see it, but coaches love nothing more than to know in their back pocket when they look up at a 36-7 score, I got plenty to talk about, and we're going to coach them up. And that's what Israel Gonzalez will talk about, what you could have done and what we're going to do next.
Yeah, film room in the morning. Let's talk about that. You know, I think for South, it's going to be mistakes. I think it's going to be holding. I think it's just be those mental errors they're going to have to clean up as they head into this district. You know, I think film room tomorrow for Rivera is going to be finding those crucial things that were working and then really trying to make a game, you know, get a game plan around those things. You know, that short pass game was going. The running game took take off. But, you know, how does each team go to work tomorrow morning? And both will, regardless of win or loss, because the rest of the season's up ahead.
Rivera was out with the services of one of their leaders on the defensive side. That's Campos. Abel Campos is on crutches over there. Right now he's talking things over with his quarterback, Jesus Hinojosa. When they get him back, and they've also got a lineman or two, they're going to get better. Hawks will take a knee. They're not looking to score any more points here. They lead 36-7, and they will capture the victory here tonight. We go to our post-game show brought to you by Pronto Insurance, by Josh Moody Loans, City of South Padre Island, EDC of San Benito, and Luke Furia Motors. 36-7, it really was a solid contest for the Hawks. They go to 2-2 on the season, and Rivera Raiders will go to 1-3. We talked about it early on, Aaron. Raiders need to rebuild a little bit more. Hawks need to build on the confidence of back-to-back weeks.
Yeah, I think so. Rivera's got a big district coming up. I think this year may be a year to get ready for next year. You know, get those experiences, hit those lumps. But I like what I see from the younger players. South, you got to be in full momentum go right now because district starts next week.
Our player of the game again is Ethan Garza. By the way, that LaFeria Mercedes game is in the fourth quarter, and they're scoring like crazy. So as you tune out of our game, Rio Sports Live presents live from LaFeria, Mercedes LaFeria. It's got to be the game of the night as far as the exciting scores. Here tonight, the Hawks win it. Hope you enjoyed the broadcast. Again, my thanks, Aaron Sines. Good to work with you.
Always a pleasure. Thank you, Joe.
Till next time, from Sam Stadium in Brownsville, Texas. Good night.